All right, today we're going to dive into a massive year for Euronext, the real powerhouse of Europe's capital markets. Their 2025 was just packed with huge numbers and even bigger strategic moves, so let's get right into what made it all click.
Okay, right off the bat, here's the number you need to see, plus 12.1%. That's the growth in Euronext's underlying revenue for the year. I mean, in today's economy, that is a seriously impressive figure.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The company's CEO, Stéphane Boujna, he called it an excellent start to their new big picture plan. That kind of confidence from the top really sets the stage for everything we're about to unpack.
So let's actually dig into the details of that growth. Because this wasn't just some lucky break in one little corner of the business. The strength was, well, it was pretty much everywhere.
Just look at how consistent this is. Revenue up 12.1%. Adjusted EBITDA, which is a really key way to measure profitability, climbed even higher, 13.6%. And adjusted earnings per share, a number investors are always watching, jumped over 10%. It's basically a clean sweep of double-digit growth across all the numbers that matter most.
So the big question is, where did all this growth actually come from? Well, to get Euronext's success, you've really got to understand its two main engines.
And here's a look at how the company is built. Almost 60% of their revenue is what they call non-volume related. Now that's a huge advantage because it gives them this super stable, predictable foundation for the business. It kind of insulates them from the crazy ups and downs of the market each day.
Yeah, here's probably the easiest way to think about it. The non-volume stuff, that's like a subscription service. You get this steady, reliable income from data and company listings. The volume revenue, that's more like a pay-per-use model, tied directly to how much trading is happening. So having most of your money coming from that subscription side, that puts you in a very, very strong position.
And if we zoom in on that stable, non-volume side, you can see some really impressive growth. Their capital markets and data solutions grew over 12%. And look at this, net treasury income soared over 22%. So we're not just talking about stable income. This is a foundation that is growing and fast.
But that doesn't mean the trading side of the house was just sitting around, not at all. Both of the big volume-related parts of the business also posted fantastic double-digit growth. It really shows the whole business was just firing on all cylinders. This chart really just hammers that point home. A 16.2% jump in FIC, that's fixed income, commodities, and currencies, and then a nearly 12% rise in their main equity markets. This is exactly what's meant by resilient performance. Even their more unpredictable revenue streams showed incredible strength.
Okay, so we've seen the numbers and they're impressive. But the story of 2025, it wasn't just about the money. It was about laying the groundwork for something much, much bigger.
And that's the key takeaway here. Euronext used its financial muscle to make some really bold moves. They weren't just sitting back and counting their money, they were putting it to work to build the future of the company. Let's look at the highlights. In May, they bought Admincontrol, which boosted their recurring software revenue. Then, in November, they expanded their map, basically, by acquiring the Athens Stock Exchange in Greece. And to top it off, in December, they announced a huge move to streamline their operations. Every single one of these moves is a piece of a much larger puzzle.
Just like the CEO said, these weren't just random purchases. Every acquisition was disciplined and it directly served their grand vision, building one single integrated capital market for all of Europe. And how can they make all these big moves? Well, it's because their finances are absolutely rock solid. A net debt to EBITDA ratio of 1.5x is really healthy. It basically means they have the financial firepower to go after these big opportunities without stretching themselves too thin. So, after a year like that, what's next? You might think they'd slow down, but no, they have no plans of hitting the brakes. Let's take a look at the roadmap for 2026.
They've laid out a super clear plan. March, they're jumping into power futures. By June, they're going to complete their European repo market. That's the system that helps banks lend to each other. And then September brings a huge milestone. They'll start settling trades from 3 major markets through their own system. It's all about creating a more connected and efficient Europe.
The message from the top couldn't be clearer. 2025 was just the warm-up act. They are carrying all that momentum into 2026 with a crystal clear plan and, well, a real determination to get it done.
And all of this leaves us with the big question. Euronext is basically connecting the financial dots all across Europe, from Athens to Oslo. Their vision is obvious.
But will this incredibly ambitious strategy finally create a unified market that's powerful enough to truly go head-to-head with the giants over in the US? Now that's the story to watch.